Tyrone Walters.
Yeah.
Tyrone Walters.
Yeah.
Tyrone Walters.
Yeah.
Tobago's own blessing. Tyrone Walters, also known as Blessed Messenger. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me, man. Blessings to you. What going on?
I there and I cool, and
Yeah.
I'm so pleased that you took the time out of your busy schedule
I know,
to
yeah.
touch base.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing and an honor to be here, man.
Tobago doesn't see us often
I
as we
know.
used to.
Oh gosh.
We have some complaints, and I am bringing the formal complaints on behalf of the population.
Right.
Why we not seeing you?
Right.
When we going and see you next?
Right.
Is what going on? So tell me what happening.
Let me tell you something. I just be doing a lot of things, you know, behind the scenes. Sometimes you don't see me, but I'm there, you know. In order for the whole ministry and the whole music thing to grow, I need to work even when people not looking, you know. I wish that I could come back to Tobago and be more here and do stuff, but the more times that I'm here, I have a lot of things to do elsewhere, you know. So in order for me to really push the Tobago brand, the Tobago Blessed Messenger, I need to do the work, you know. So that's what that is what have me real busy, you know.
Well,
So
I totally understand, because we seen you, no?
yeah,
We just not seen
seen
you
at home,
here.
you know,
You
home, you know.
understand?
And I tell people, don't worry, you know, just know that the Tobago never leave me, you know, and I represent Tobago every single place that I go. A few weeks ago, I was in Antigua, you know, and I was actually teaching them about Tobago, you know, telling them about the Buku Reef, Pigeon Point, and all the Argyle waterfalls and all this kind of stuff, because they was asking me about Tobago, you know.
I feel
yeah,
dear THA,
yeah.
we need a brand ambassador deal. Dear TTIC.
You know, so I feel that one, you know. So everywhere I go, even if they announce me, Blessed Messenger coming from Trinidad and Tobago, I make sure that I tell the people, hey, Tobago born, you know, that kind of way to let them know, hey, yes, it's Trinidad and Tobago, but I am actually from the smaller one, which is Tobago, you know. Yeah.
And that's cool vibes, and it's always good to promote the island.
Yes, indeed.
Nonetheless, we're tourism based, but at the same time, you need to come and see what we are about,
you know. And Tobago is such a hidden gem at times, a natural beauty. I tell people, especially in Trinidad, I used to live where you going on vacation, you know. And Tobago have so much to offer. And not just natural scenery, but the people in itself, the warmth. I could go on the whole evening about Tobago, because it's my heart, you know. So yeah, man, blessings.
I totally feel you on that.
Yeah.
But I want to find out the blessing behind Blessed Messenger. So I want to know a little bit about your background and how did you become this regional and international and local gospel minister, you know, that doing big things and making waves.
Well, like most artists, I should say, I started off in the junior choir, right? Let me just put it there first. Sorry that I was born in the beautiful village of Bethel, right? Born and raised. My parents are Colin and Gemma Walters. You know, I have one sibling, Colini Walters, you know. Yeah, so I started off in choir. First of all, I used to go to the Moravian Church in Bethel, where I was in the choir there, but I never really did no front line singing, that kind of place. I was more the behind the scenes, you know, little boy, just miserable in the place, and hey, go in the choir, you know, that kind of way. And then after, when I went to the Maranatha Christian Assembly, I was in the choir there also. Mommy made sure that my sister and myself was in the choir.
Absolutely, we have to parents have to make use of that energy.
Yeah, So what used to happen was I love football and I love music, right? But football, what I used to do, I used to play football, and then when it come to time to go home from choir, I used to leave the football field in Montgomery and run down to junior choir.
To pretend.
Yeah, to pretend like I was down there. To pretend like I was down there, But I coming in choir sweaty and thing, But I always loved music because my father is a musician. He loved music and he would be playing music at home. So I was more of a home singer, And it was one day, choir mistress, Sister Cheryl Sandy, blessings if you're watching, she had a part of a Kurt Franklin, the Kurt Franklin, someone asked the question, why do we sing? And she was like, Dominic, you come and try this part here because, I always say that out running away or hiding behind the scenes and kind of stuff. And then when I started to sing and they realized that, but this boy could sing,
Yeah.
And that was my first, I should say, solo part to sing, And then from there, a group of guys from the church that I was going to, we decided to form a group called Blessed Messengers, right?
With the S on the end.
With the S on the end,
Right.
And we was singing gospel music, gospel reggae, gospel soca, all kind of vibes, the youthful vibes in them days. And then the group broke up in about 2006, right? Because I went to college and played football and all that kind of stuff. And then when I came back in 2009, God spoke to me, right? And he wanted me to start back music ministry in itself, because from even at a young tender age, it was really prophesied over my life that was the calling for me on my life,
So when you say God spoke to you, what did that sound? Because I know most people they say when God speaks to them, it's never an easy journey and it's never something simple or that you want to do.
Yeah.
So how was that for you?
Listen, when I came back to Tobago, I didn't want nothing to do with music. I telling you the honest truth. Okay. I just wanted to be home and maybe play football, So I had the gift there, but just dormant, just doing nothing, And I was going to church Sunday after Sunday, and then God was like talking to me, you need to start back what I had started in you, Need to finish what I started in you. And then I say, you know what? I gotta go back singing, but this time I gotta go by my real name, Tyrone Walters, And it's so funny that God keep re-emphasizing the point in my spirit that no, you need to start what I started in you.
And that was the Blessed Messenger.
And that was Blessed Messengers, And so I spoke to the rest of the group and everybody was okay with me going with the Blessed Messenger name. So I just take off the S and hey, here we have Blessed Messenger now,
All right,
Blessings,
so we get down to the root of the situation. You all see where Blessed Messenger come from?
Yeah.
It was never him alone. It had some S's. I wonder what the S's are doing now.
Yeah, a lot of all of them are doing great.
Excellent.
And I'm glad to see them doing their thing, and just progressing in life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Blessed Messenger, as you are now, how was that journey in music?
It was rough, boy. I should say it was a lot of things. There are the ups and there are the downs, and I really thank God for all of it, all the ups, all the downs. Coming from Tobago, being a musician, especially in gospel, it ain't easy,
I could
it ain't easy, I would have loved to be in Tobago and really further the gospel, but it was really challenging. There was a lot of challenges associated with that, So with my transition to Trinidad, it became a little more easier.
Okay. So why was it easy? What made it easy in Trinidad? What was the barrier in Tobago?
Access to things. Access to radio stations that would promote the in them days it wasn't like all of this, you know. You understand, where you had the social media pumping strong and thing, you know. Them days you had to really work, you know, to actually get a song out there to be heard by people. And the amount of songs that I recorded, right, and put out there and didn't even get a listening air, you know. Yeah, and didn't even make nothing, you know, and then had to redo the song. And then at that time, it didn't really have the good producers really per se doing that music here in Tobago. Now we have a whole heap doing real good music.
Yeah.
I was like, where this was when I was home, you know. You know, so I really thank God that I seen Tobago music coming up, you know, and everybody doing so excellent, you know. But back then, my time, it didn't really have the access to do these things. So Trinidad presented the opportunities, presented the people who didn't know how, you know, to get the music out there. So I went there with my Tobago self and made the links, you know.
Yeah.
Thank God for those who was in my corner to help me also. Guys like Positive and who was already down there and all that kind of stuff. Show me the links, show me the ropes, what to do and the dudes and all that kind of stuff.
Essentially, you had the carpet rolled out for you. You didn't
you would think so, eh?
Okay, well, tell me what happened.
No, I thank God for guys like Joel who showed me what to do and allowed me to learn. You know, allowed me to learn, you know. When I went to Trinidad, God placed certain people in my life to help me on the journey, you know. Certain Trinidadians, you know, to help me along the journey who knew me when I was in Blessed Messengers, you know. And say, hey, come on stream, come now, let me record here, you know. Did this way think about that, you know. And hey, let me tell you something. I really thank God for those people in my life, you know. I remember the first song that I recorded. I played it for some people, boy, and they was like, nah. Back to the drawing board.
Oh my gosh.
Back to the drawing board. And I was like, wait, but them is the things that I wanted to hear. Them is the things that I wanted to hear to better myself, you know. Nah, that ain't working.
So the criticism was constructive.
Was constructive criticism, you know. And so when I went back to the drawing board, God allowed me to record a song called Thank You in Advance, you know, with my brethren Nigel Lopez out of Sincerity Studios in Trinidad. And it's from there that people started to notice Blessed Messenger. Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know that banger, because I have to say it's a banger at this point, because that is one of your most popular songs.
Right.
Give me a little lyric, and I want to know when you were recording and writing that song.
Right.
What drove you? And what was the part in the song that stood out to you the most?
Well, that song goes something like this. Thank you, Lord, you already provided. Thank you, Lord, you already provided. I'm not persuaded by the tricks the devil play. Thank you, Lord, you already provided. Let me tell you where that song came from. In fact, you know, my mother always ponging this thing in her head. When you're going and do something, don't forget to give thanks. Give God thanks in advance for what is to come and all this kind of stuff. Even when she prays, she said, and Lord, we give you thanks in advance for what is to come and all this kind of stuff. So I remember mommy talking all them things, you know. So when I got the rhythm, I was hearing like this rhythm in my head, just like a beat, you know. And I was just singing that chorus over and over and over. It came from a place also where I was going through real struggles in Trinidad as it pertains to provision, you know, and I couldn't really see my way. But it was my praise unto God that really helped me to go through, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember mommy's prayer. I remember praying. I remember God talking to me and like, hey, you would not suffer, right? And I would not give you more than you could bear. So all that added to that word from God, and that song was birthed, you know, and me and Nigel, to record that song was a whole heap of bacchanal.
Well, and you know the thing about it is, anytime you have to do something big for God, talk about bacchanal and porries and fight down and problems.
Let me tell you what God wrote that song. Let me tell you what God wrote that song. We was recording. In fact, it was so early in the year, and Nigel had now set up his studio, so it was like in a room. That song actually recorded in a room. He put up his room with sponge and all them kind of thing, and keyboard and computer. The full works. Everybody know how a room thing does work out. And I remember we started putting down this song, put on chorus, put on verse, chorus, verse. Let me tell you something. When we dive into this song, Tian take the current, bro. And watch me, we lost all the files. Because we were so excited about the whole project that we wasn't really saving as we go along now. Right? And so we was excited and just putting down vocals, putting down thing, and then we lost all and we had to start again from scratch. You know? On top of that, my brethren, his brother was doing work outside the studio. So he pushing around a barrow outside that making noise.
You can't get right.
Yeah. So in every direction we move was something. If wasn't the barrow pushing, current gone, you know? So when we got the finished product of that song, boy, I tell you, it was amazing. It was a blessing to me. I cry all kind of thing because I couldn't believe, you know, that from that little room,
you were able to
produce that. And this is just one thing that drove me forward is that I sent this song in itself to a prominent artist just to get a listen, to get feedback, because that's what I would normally do. And they turn and tell me, nice topic, you know, but that song ain't gonna get much play.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and watch me. I went.
Crush your spirit.
What if it crushed me again? I went into a state of depression. I said, Lord, why? Serious, you know, because that person would have been somebody I look up to, you know.
But so, who had the final say though?
Who had the final say?
Right, that's what.
You understand? He alone, boy.
Exactly.
You know. And I still send out my song no matter what because it's God thing. You understand? If they don't like it, they don't like it. If they like it, well, hey, bless God for that. And boy, the amount of testimonies that come out of that one song is amazing, boy.
So when it hit the radio station,
right?
How did that transition go?
When it hit the radio stations, I was so excited. I turned on the radio. I was telling everyone, I said, "Hey, hear me on radio." I started getting like a vaccine come sick and I'm like, hear this number. And I started tuning to the radio just to hear my voice, just to hear me, you know, singing. And I was real excited to know that people actually hearing me, the little Tobago boy, the little Bethel boy, you know, and just out there, you know.
How did it feel when you got your first song request? Because you know you call into the station. I want you to play this song. How did that feel?
That was I felt so amazing. I felt amazed, you know. I felt blessed to know that I was a blessing, according to the name of the whole program there, you know. I felt blessed that I was a blessing to someone's life, you know. And even as time progressed and people started telling me testimonies about the song in itself, who was in school and studying and was so stressed out and that is the song that they used to beat day and night just to get through, and now they have the degree. People who was praying for their car and all this kind of stuff and now they have cars. People who was praying for a house and now they have their own house. They're turning their own key. And I listening to all these testimonies and I'm like, wow, boy,
amazing.
And I'm like, no, Lord, I don't want to take no praise for myself. You take all the praise from this.
Absolutely.
This was your doing. You blessed my voice. You caused this to happen. So, yeah.
So tell me about the doors that were opened as a result. Because now they couldn't ignore that you were there.
Right.
And you were present.
Right.
What happened then?
Different producers started to call me to do music. Right, and to record songs, even if though I had to pay some and all of that, you need money to do all things,
Absolutely.
you know? Right? Money answer to all things, the Bible says.
Is cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? So everything costs money, you know? But I even thank God for those who say, hey, blessed, this track. Come and hear it, and they could voice on it, you know? And I am telling you, from thank you in advance, straight up to songs like Do Tell Me That and Move Mountains and the songs keep coming and are recorded by different people and all that kind of stuff. To tell you the honest truth, Chris, I don't even know how I end up here. I'm being honest with you. When I look back, right, at where I was and where I'm now, I'm like, Lord, but when this happened, you know, how I'm able to go here or go there and receive this award and all that kind of stuff. When did that happen? And boy, it's all God, boy.
You see, you know, they say hindsight is 2020.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You see so clearly.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
When you are back there and you're looking forward, you're like, oh my gosh.
You know,
you're just thinking the next step is difficult and it's another day, it's another grind. And we're praying that God helps you to move forward. But when you look back, you can say, wow, these are the accomplishments.
Yeah. And I don't regret none of the struggles that I went through.
What are some of the struggles that you went through?
As an individual or as an artist, really?
As an individual, because I mean, on the outset of the music,
right,
you still have to live a life.
Yes, you know.
How was that?
There are many times that I was wondering where food was going to come from, you know. And as you know, I'm married, right? I have 2 boys now, you know. But at the time when I started back into music, I just got married, you know. And boy, when I tell you big man thing, you know, there are days when I come and I watch in cupboard, I'm like, Lord, what's going on in here? What's going on in here? And you know, you're out there and people would see you smiling, or you might touch stage and people see you laughing and giving God praise, but they don't know behind the scenes. You might be going home to cupboard empty, you understand? Or you just barely have enough to take taxi from the concert or whatever back home.
Yeah.
These kind of things, you know, and I just scratching the surface, you know. I didn't have a permanent job at the time also, so I was working OJT, so I didn't necessarily have a constant income,
a stable income.
Yeah, right through. So
and with a family that is very difficult,
you know. And I remember you are a man now, you know, your wife and stuff, and then you had to be the supplier, you have bills and all that kind of stuff. And then I really thank God for my parents also, who really step in and help me, you know, to come up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Blessings to my parents. I love all, yeah. Love, you know. Parents ain't gonna leave you out there stranded.
Absolutely.
You know, however, I'm that guy, I want to make sure it happen. I'm a man now, so let me make it happen. Me and you, God. Let me roll.
I mean, there's a kind of ego as an adult.
Yes.
It's not even male or female, I think.
Yeah. It's just adulthood.
And you expect, okay, by now I'm supposed to stand on my own 2 feet.
Right.
And when you encounter some financial difficulties, because that is it, people will be in church screaming.
Yeah.
You see them run from the front to the back and scream.
And it's amazing.
I don't want to laugh.
Yeah.
Because it just came in my mind, pictured in my mind.
Yeah.
That ball way does ball up, because you don't know what I just went through. You have no clue.
Real things. And also, just being in Trinidad, I didn't have much family members in Trinidad to really lean on, you know. And because the majority of my family in Tobago, so at times I would feel so alone down there, even though I had my in-laws, and I thank God for them also, but there's nothing like your own, you understand? So if I had this aunt or uncle that I could have say go by and all that kind of stuff, would have been really nice, but I didn't really have that per se. If I wanted that, I would have had to come back home to Tobago, but that wasn't the case. I wanted to fight that for myself and make sure that, hey, I make it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, despite the struggles, you were a rising star.
Right.
Right?
Blessings.
That God was using. How was it when you did your first regional show?
That my first regional show was in Guyana. I went to Guyana with Positive, JD, and I can't remember who was the headline, DJ Nicholas and these guys, right? And we were in Guyana, and while in the plane going to Guyana, right? Well, them fellas traveling all the time. This is my first travel, and I didn't want to get on like if I was so excited, you know. I didn't want to get like I was so excited. I just wanted to be calm and stuff. And I in the plane just sit down there like, wait, boy, I really live in the country to sing, boy. You know, that was amazing. The Bethel boy again, you know. And when I touched down in Guyana and in the concert, and to hear people actually singing this song word for word.
What song was that?
That was Thank You in Advance, Do Tell Me That, and Turn Up. Right? Yeah, and no, just, bro, just to hear them singing this song word for word, and I'm like, watching people mouth.
Like,
and
you know it for real?
Yeah, you know, it was weird. It was weird now because I would get that in Trinidad, I would get that in Tobago, but to see outside of Trinidad and Tobago and seeing for your own eyes, it was a mind-blowing thing, you know? And that really showed me that, hey, this music going past me.
Exactly.
You know, this ministry isn't about me. It's really about the people of God and reaching people in all holes, crevice, crease, wherever they are, you know? So I want to really talk to all the artists out there. Don't feel your music just staying right there. No, somebody hearing you, somebody listening to you, somebody seeing that testimony or hearing that testimony in your music. I just be talking to people regular from different parts of the world, just saying, hey, boy, blessed when they're coming by, blessed when they're touching back here, or you know, that kind of stuff. So it does just be out of this world, boy, you know?
Well, I could just imagine. And the type of transition, because I mean, I figure that when you come from humble beginnings,
right,
it's almost like you can't imagine yourself being bigger, and that God could actually use you in that capacity.
Yeah, and not only that, you know, I remember a long time, me and my sister, actually my sister is a better singer than me. Right?
Well, I know Kalini could real
what
sing.
She had a voice, vocal, on a next level, you know? And because my father would be playing all this music at home, I set up Bob Marley and Bunny Wailer and all these old-time singers, my sister and I would be harmonizing to all the songs on them, you know? So we wouldn't be singing the normal chord, you know? We singing the harmony on top the chord, you know? So if she's singing high, I singing low. And that stuff, I don't know how that brother-sister thing does happen, but God real good at way. Siblings know how to sing with each other, you know? And we would be doing that, harmonizing to all these songs, and I would listen to all kind of music that I could get my hands on, you know? And just, I know God was preparing me for something, you know? I remember when, at one point in time, I just decided that I want to have my own concert on the back step. Right? And on my back step just had banana trees. Right? Listen to me. It's a whole thing, you know. I set up myself with the broomstick and all this kind of stuff. And I singing to people, shaking leaf and all kind of thing, thinking it's people's hand, you know. Watch me. And I talking to them and I singing to them, going down on my knee, all that kind of stuff. One point in time, I tell people I get so carried away, I dive in the banana patch. I dive in, you know. But I tell you, all these experiences as a young fella, when I look back, boy, I like, God, you had easy, you know, boy. You know? And
if the banana trees could see you now.
Yeah, boy. If they could have talked, they'd say, boy, this boy irritated every evening they see voice we hear, you know? But it's them backstep times and them bathroom times and them in the room times and them with my sister times and in church times and all them kind of stuff. There's the product of it, right?
Yeah,
now.
I think sometimes we underestimate that you're actually training yourself. You might just think, you know, it's a joke, for kicks, but
take nothing for granted at all. I tell people, don't take nothing for granted. Nothing that you're doing is by chance. All your gifts and all your talents is not by chance. That is one out of these things, or two out of these things, or three could be for you, later on in life. So don't take nothing for granted at all. Yeah.
Definitely. So from then to now, how do you view your growth? And what type of legacy are you planning to leave?
That's a very good question. My growth is I still see myself as a babe. Where I'm still growing, still learning. And there's a lot of things that I don't know. So I make it my duty to know, to learn, because there are a lot of things that I don't know at all, especially as it pertains to music and getting out there, So I still seeing the growth, even though it's 2016 was the first release, and we're in 2024, right? I'm still growing. I'm still learning, What I want to really leave on this earth really is that, hey, this Bethel boy really did not give up. This Tobagonian did not give up, He stayed the course. He trusted in the Lord, especially. That the main thing. Trusted in the Lord, and I was faithful to God, and everybody would see my faithfulness, not only through the music, but through my lifestyle, So you must be able to watch Blessed life and say, I want to pattern myself after that. I want to do this. If I want to accomplish this, I must watch what Blessed do here. Listen to what Blessed do here. Listen to what Blessed make a mistake, right? Because I made a lot of mistakes coming up, and I thank God for the mistakes and all. So now I'm able to tell people the do's and the don'ts. So I want to leave that legacy, especially for my fellow Tobagonians also, who thinking of going into this field, Don't feel that it's just about recording songs and getting a voice heard and being on TV or wherever. Nice, more than that. This whole thing is a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
This whole thing is a lifestyle. Is about God working in you and progressing in you and bouncing upon trials and tribulations and knowing that you can't make it here without God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really want to know. You mentioned mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But I know on the journey with Christ, there are things that would test your faith.
Yes.
What was that like? What was some of those things that you could remember?
Let me tell you something. I think for an artist, it would be, especially male, it would be girls and all that kind of stuff, And everywhere you would go, you're bouncing up on some good-looking girls too. Some brave ones, What
do you mean by that?
When I say brave, who know that you're married but still gonna come and try something, just to see if they gonna get through and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you might be in a state of a weak moment, and then when you do catch yourself, like, hey, this other done, that kind of way. So a lot of us feel that because we're in church and thing, that these things can happen to you. That is a lie from the pit of hell, because the devil's so tricky and so sneaky, but he only come to steal, kill, and destroy, right? And before you know it, if you allow the devil to work his work in you, you will fall, right?
Yeah.
You will fall. And
the word says don't even give him a foothold.
Don't even give, no. And I was even reading Ephesians chapter 5 when I was in the airport this evening, and talk about who's going to inherit the kingdom.
Yeah.
Understand? And I reach a place where even when I was in my stupidness, that I say, but I will go heaven, boy.
Hell hot?
Hell hot. This sun ain't easy down here. Imagine how the sun real hot, I telling, and especially these days, it real hot. It mashing up the AC in your car, all kind of thing. I want to go hell by? Nah, I doubt. You understand? So that was just one of the things that made my eyes open to say, nah, I don't hear enough for me, boy. I enough for this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want my mansion, boy. I own my mansion up there.
Yeah, and you know, imagine you out there singing for millions of people, and when you reach heaven, you are here, well done. You have to hear God done.
You know how hard it is to do all of this here on earth. You're singing here, singing there.
I never knew you.
Boy, that could trip me up, boy. Let me tell you, I dream many times that Jesus came and leave me. I don't know if you ever get that dream before.
I don't want to get that dream. I rebuke that dream in Jesus' name. Absolutely.
What's right? Yeah, this time I sleeping. At least more than one time, God allowed me to dream this kind of dream, especially when I was living the life that I wasn't supposed to. Because I tell people, you seem blessed now, but there are times when even when in ministry, I wasn't really living up to the Christ standard. Calling, you understand? So I remember sleeping and I got this dream that the trumpet song from all this kind of stuff, and Jesus came and taking everybody, but I doing so to go up to. It's so funny, yeah. But I do it so to go up because I say,
and you're reaching nowhere.
I'm reaching nowhere, and Jesus come and leave me, boy. Why when I wake up, I start to repent. Watch me, a cold sweating in the sleep. And that's not even a dream. That's a nightmare, boy.
It's a nightmare.
I'm telling you,
I don't think that they have a worse. You can show me as much horror as you want. Yeah. I don't watch it, but to me, the trumpet song and you still here with these folks,
bro. And you know, the Bible say in the twinkling of an eye, right? So therefore, basically, it's a flash of a moment, you understand? So when you hear that trumpet, you might not even see people going up. It might just be like that, whap.
And you look around and you're gone.
Yeah, but in the dream, I there still, boy. When I wake up, I say, Lord, here what's going on? I don't want to ever witness that. You come and I ain't go with you. Yeah, so that changed me. That changed me.
Give it the 360. Yeah, I feel like sometimes God comes in and gives you these very quiet wake-up calls. And sometimes it's not even public. It's in your own, I mean, God forbid if God give you a public wake-up call, Let
me tell you a wake-up call I got. I was being Blessed Messenger at the time, but my life wasn't fully sold out for Christ, right? Still doing stupidness. And I remember that I came to Tobago one time. Just came home, and I went back to Trinidad. Could be about 9 o'clock in the night. I was taking a bus route Maxi from Piaco. No, well, you had to take that Maxi from Five Rivers Junction all the way down to Sawa.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was in the Maxi, and two young fellas came into the Maxi, and now by a phone. And I deep into the phone, texting away, texting, social media, and all this kind of stuff. One of the guys sat in front, one sat in the back, right? There's a blind corner in Tunapuna, real dark. And
that's before, after the banks?
Yeah, somewhere around there, right? And the guy who was sitting in front of me turned around with a gun and tell everybody, pass it up. They start to rub the Maxi, right? They're rubbing the Maxi from back to front. I remember it had a girl, she was so scared. She had her phone in her hand. She dropped the phone. Homeboy see she dropped the phone and said, pick it up and give me that phone. He didn't say that, but you know the the bad word and thing. And she giving the phone and stuff. And I watched down to the back, and I saw a fella had a baby in his hand.
Oh God!
Right, and but the baby bag. The fella in the back empty out the baby bag going through just to find something to take.
Wow.
But the guy who was sitting in front of me with the gun, he didn't take that gun off me all time.
Oh my God.
He just watching me because I have on my jacket. I had on gold in the Maxi.
Yeah.
Right? I had a next bracelet like this on in the Maxi, and I had money in my pocket. I said, oh gosh. And I did staring down the barrel of this gun. And right then and there I began to pray. I said, Lord, if you bring me through this, Because remember, I used to be a good boy. We had seen them.
We're not accustomed to those type of things.
Yeah, you understand? So when I see that gun, I freeze up. You understand? So I say, Lord, if you bring me through this, boy, it's me and you will roll in together forever, boy. This is it, done. And I tell you something. The only thing them fellas took from me that night was my cell phone.
Yeah.
I had my ID card in the sleeve of the cell phone. I tell the gunman, I say, listen, take my phone. But you see my license? Let me get it back now because it's real trouble to get back that license. You know, license sometimes is, you know, homeboy.
Take it out and get.
Go in the bag. Take out my phone. He asks me, this your phone?
Yeah.
I say, yeah. Open the sleeve.
That had to be a God-fearing.
I'm telling you, boy.
How?
Take out my thing and give me my ID and went with my phone. And then for us come out the maxi and just stand up across the road to see what the maxi man go do.
Yeah.
And everybody in the maxi telling the maxi man, boy, drive. We're waiting for, you know. And I say, Lord, I thank you for sparing my life because it could have turned out differently, you know.
God spare your life till you ask questions.
Yeah. I telling you.
I have a word to say
for
I don't
come
want
over me, boy. And that is what this did. I wrote a song called When I come into your presence, I feel like I don't want to leave it, you know. I'll never turn my back on you, Jesus. So much of things you'll bring me through. And that song was birthed from that experience right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that song, I mean, I really love that song. Yeah. That song is a very vibesy song, but nobody would know.
Yeah,
if you never said it, that it was because you were staring down
the barrel of a gun.
Yeah.
Right there, I said, Lord, just save my life. I don't want to dead today. Yeah. I was really young. I'd now get married, all kind of things. So, yeah.
That is special. Yeah. I feel like these stories. Many Christian people encounter different formats, different versions of it. And we don't really sit down and talk the truth, you know, because a lot of people are lukewarm. Yeah. You know, you need a hot or you're cold. Yeah. You know, and you're just in the middle because you're saying, this is where I could go as close to the line without crossing it. You see that lukewarm thing is a trick of the enemy. You know, and it's amazing how grace operates. You know, God has given us grace and mercy, but for how long? You're telling me?
You understand?
And for me, there was a time I had to question this term iniquity.
Right.
I was like, what is this iniquity thing? They're always talking about iniquity in church.
Yeah.
I go in church with Pastor McCall since a little. Yeah. Iniquity.
Blessings to Pastor McCall too.
Blessings to Pastor McCall and America
Center. People up there too.
Yeah. Right? And again, even in the reggae songs, you hear them talking about iniquity.
Yeah.
And then I said, I need to get down to the
definition.
What is this thing about? Only to realize that you know that something is wrong, but you know that God provides grace and mercy. And because God provides grace and mercy, you decide that I got to do something wrong and then still come back to ask God to forgive you. But you know what you do.
Yeah, and you see that willful sin is a frightening thing, where you know what you're doing is wrong, but yet still you're doing it. Boy, to anybody out there that in sin doing that and stuff, please, for dear God's sake, straighten up your life. If you're serving Jesus, serve Jesus for real. Right? Now not time to play that two-sided defense thing now. Because you're seeing the signs of the times playing off.
You're telling me?
Yeah. Remember, blessed tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but for real, and these are the conversations we really need to have because people aren't necessarily honest.
It's not been talked about enough.
And people need to get out and say, hey, you know, this is my journey. But the other side of it is, unless people give their testimony, nobody will be saved. Yeah. Because honestly, people assume that Christians are these highfalutin people. There's not on their nose. They, you know, they feel better than everybody else.
It's a stigma.
But if you were to hear Listen to me. Testimony time in church just be very interesting.
I love testimony time. I love to
like, what? But you're not going for the back and all that, but you're there. And when you really what somebody going through, you see somebody in the back and their lip quivering away.
Yeah.
What going on with you?
Yeah.
It's because they're going through that same exact thing. And you assume that you are isolated and you're in a bubble, not knowing that somebody right next to you that might have been on one seat over from you would have experienced the same exact thing.
You're so correct. And you see, the thing about it is up to us, the believers who in it, to really teach others that, hey, you're not alone in this, or no, you alone went through that or going through that. I was in that too, or I went through this here, and here how I overcome that, or here how I get over that, And a lot of us, we maybe don't tell this story because maybe we are ashamed
or embarrassed,
or how they gonna look at me after I tell them that, boy.
God forbid if you present with real excellence and high quality. Some parents, a lot of times we never hear our parents' story, because now they are God-fearing woman of God.
God-fearing woman of God. But what about before that?
What happened before? But I remember a friend of mine telling me this, and I started to laugh. And I know that this is serious. But I was laughing. She said, girl, but how come I in these baby pictures?
Right.
Mommy not a prayer warrior.
Yeah.
And I start to scream. Because 1 on 1 don't make 11. And she's saying, but mommy get married in little children. When they start to piece that together,
they find out.
It's like, wait. But you telling me don't do this, and it's a sin to do that. But they're not half the time ask them,
But what I like about that, in fact, you could then say, well, girl or boy, I didn't know Christ at that time. But now that I know better,
I try to teach
you better so that you don't make the same mistakes, that I made. And that's every parent's dream, that the children don't make the same mistakes that they made.
And the honesty is necessary.
Yeah. But at what stage do you tell them the truth?
When they're big enough to have some sense.
The maturity,
because I mean, what you don't want is for them to have the information and weaponize it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because, kids, if you could do that, I could do that too.
Yeah, I could do that too.
And as a matter of fact, I could do it better than you.
Yeah.
So you don't really want that to happen per se.
For real.
But you want this information to come out at a time that it will empower them to make better
choices. Or when they're mature enough to make, to feel like, serious mommy or serious daddy? All right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know what to do now,
Exactly.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it avoids the child feeling alienated from the experiences of the parents. You understand your true place in the family and the reason why they're on your back about certain things, and
it is appointed to all parents to really grow up their child in the way they should grow. I think what is happening, because even in Tobago right now, when I'm in Trinidad and I'm hearing violence, I grew up in a time in Tobago when we used to never have no kind of murders here. I grew up in a time where you could leave your house open and go to school and work.
And come back and everything
I could remember many times we would forget the iron on, and we could have called a neighbor and say, just go and see if I take off the iron there. I can't remember, You call on home phone, because them days wasn't no cell phone, take us home phone. Miss Swanson, just go and check and see if I take off the iron, And you gotta get back a call, Gemma, take it off, thing. And in Tobago right now, I think that the family unit under attack.
Yeah. But why do you say that? What exactly would you pinpoint and attribute towards that statement?
I take off the iron there. I can't remember, You call on home phone. Because them with the social media, people getting to see what's going on out there and want to live that kind of lifestyle. Right? Because remember, a long time we didn't really have all of them things to see. Right? What we had was cable to a point. you know. So now that everybody have the internet in their hands,
at their fingertips.
Yeah. So the scene what America doing, the scene what so and so doing, you want to live that kind of lifestyle. Another thing is the music that's being played right now is crazy. That the things that these guys singing about.
You're telling me?
You understand? So now you have young fellas who want to live that kind of lifestyle and gravitate into it because they feel there's a bad boy and all this kind of stuff. When you in Trinidad and you seen that playing off and how scary it is, and you hearing what going on in Tobago, you're like, nah, I don't want that to go home.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's here.
And it's here. You understand? And you're hearing about this. How much murders we reach already for the year? What, 30 or something? So I'm not sure.
I wonder if we crossed 20 at the strike.
Yeah, we were. Last
out.
time I zoned in was 24.
24.
Was the number that
I just tried because you live here and you're well aware that it is happening.
Yeah.
But you try to mentally zone it out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to start feeling anxious.
Yeah.
Because for me, as a woman, I don't want to be in my community and be in communities that I've always been in.
Yeah.
And I'm so anxious and carrying this set of anxiety and worry and concern
it's not
and
good
panic.
Feeling at all.
So for me, though I live here, it's almost like if I shut down my mind where that is concerned, just to kind of function.
And let me share this, sir. When I see the breakdown in the families, right, you have a lot of broken homes now, a high divorce rate where husbands and wives split up. And you know what go on? Daddy gone so, mommy gone so. Most times, mommy gone with the children. The majority of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Primary caregiver.
Yeah, right? And daddy does only drop in when time to merely give money or something. How young fellas know how to be men is through the men. A father teaches a young fella how to be a man, how to be a father, how to be a good husband, right? The women show the young ladies how to carry about themselves, how to be a good wife, how to be a good woman, you understand? When you have the two families coming together, then the girl seeing what to look for in a man from daddy, right? And the boy seeing how to treat a woman from mommy, you understand, and what they're expecting. So when you had a split apart, right, it leaving room for the devil to come in there.
All kind of different ideologies.
You understand? And with me, I could tell you, I was on the block plenty times, sit down, and I thank God that I had my head on my shoulders from a young age, right?
Yeah.
That I didn't do some of the things them, especially coming from Bethel, where quote unquote everybody said Bethel is a bad place and all this kind of stuff. I remember going and look for a job and I didn't get through all because I was from Bethel.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a whole long story. I ain't gonna get into that this evening. We ain't have enough time.
Exactly.
But and so it leaves a lot of room for the youths and them to go astray and get wayward. And you know what happened? It have so much elements out there. So a boy might say, hey, try this now, boy. Weed. Hey, take a drink of that now, boy. You understand? Hey, hold that now, boy. First time you holding a gun. When you hold a gun and you feel the power that lies within a gun and know that you could fire this and take a life, it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
You understand? And now that you have the influx of gangs and all this kind of stuff coming to a nice little Tobago, right? Who is this number and who is that number? And it's fellas who went to school with each other, warring with each other. It's fellas who used to bathe on the beach with each other. It's fellas who parents went to school together and all that kind of stuff. And it's fellas who either see in the market every day or something, or the grocery. Tobago too small.
Yeah, we're really too small for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, what we doing, So it has hurt me, especially being in Trinidad and hearing that crime taking place. I like, nah, not Tobago, boy. And I just pray that it can get bad as people saying it is,
Yeah.
So that's, nah.
At the end of the day, God is still in control.
God is still in control.
And I do believe that though things may be bad, God could definitely turn it around.
Yeah.
You know? But
it's up to the leaders, you know. The leaders and the parents. Parents, what we doing? Let we take a closer look at our children. Yes, you and your husband didn't work out and you and your wife didn't work out, but that ain't say that
you can't parent.
That you can't parent the child, you understand? And that is what happening. You have so much absenteeism at home that the child going wayward, the child going elsewhere and looking for love in different places and in wrong places and getting the bad company. We had to get back to that place where family growing up a child. Right? Now the community and all split up.
That's so true.
And then when you have a broken family, you have a broken community. When you have a broken community, what do you think will happen to the country?
Yeah, the entire nation will reflect that.
Yeah, so that what you're seeing right now in Trinidad and Tobago is reflecting from the home.
So what do you think about mentors then? Because there are fathers that are willing to stand and support and mothers willing to stand and support.
Right.
What do you think about a community of mentors like coming in and maybe trying to touch base with the younger ones?
Let me ask you this. When I say hear something like that in Tobago,
it's been a while.
Right?
It's been a while.
Where the older fellas in the community,
where
the older fellas in the community come in and teach the younger fellas them thing. You know why? It have a breakdown.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the older fellas can't talk to the youths them again. Why? Because of disrespect. How they grew up. No, you can't even.
It's difficult.
Teachers, it's hard for teachers to teach now.
It's difficult to give correction. Because it is what is ingrained from very young.
From very young.
Because our traditional parenting style was that you were parented by the community.
Exactly.
If they find it all like me who was own way, I want to go and pick starchy from people tree and or you're walking home and you're eating plum, cherry, chenet. You name it, you're eating it coming home.
And that was the good days.
That was the good days, but half of them fruits ain't nobody gauge. You know, you just eat and you just pick it.
You pick it.
You know, and then you hear somebody say, I see you pick my so and so from my tree.
I remember being doing
and they buffing you and they could beat you.
Yeah.
You know, but they can't do that now.
You can't do that now. It changed. I remember I was doing something outside. I was riding my bike. I wasn't supposed to be riding it so fast. What I would do on evenings, I would ride my bike real fast and overtake them cars going down to Montgomery. You know them young fellas already.
Very accident prone.
Right, yeah. So it's one evening my father come home and say, you just be riding your bike real fast. I like, no, daddy. Then after somebody call mommy and say, your son does be riding that bike real fast. And that whole community was looking out for me and telling my parents, hey, Dominic, talk to Dominic. We don't want him to die because he riding that bike too fast. No, you ain't getting that happening. If you ride down the road, he ride down the road.
If he dead,
he dead. That was going on right now. So it changed now. We ain't looking out for one another. We're not our brother's keeper. That love, it started to dwindle a little.
Yeah.
We gotta get it back. That Tobago love. Yeah. And that what Tobago known for, you know? Love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So imagine that's our brand and we're not even staying on brand.
Tobago love. Imagine that. When I was in Trinidad and somebody lashing it, like Tobago love, they like to be inside there with you, you know, and thing. So, hey, Tobago's supposed to be about love. But if we can't love we neighbor, when we can't love God.
True.
Because if you see your neighbor every day and you don't love that person, then you can't love God, you don't see at all.
True.
You understand? Work on your vertical.
Before you work on your horizontal.
No, you have to work on your horizontal same time.
We know.
But you see that vertical?
Yeah.
Jesus talk about that, boy. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me look ahead.
Right.
Let's look ahead. What are the plans? What can we expect from you, Blessed Messenger, going forward?
Right.
We know about all the wonderful things that you did then. But what are your plans? What are your plans?
I have a lot of plans.
Share some with us. I've turned my ear in your direction because I want to hear.
I'll be honest with you. I just get real buff and thing from my own people here saying, when you're coming home and do something by, you know. But I want it to be at a place where I could actually do it. Because I came home already and did something, you know. But it didn't get the support that I expected that it would have gotten, right? And I think that when I came home and I did it and I didn't get the support, it kind of did... I was despondent, you know.
A little discouraged?
A little discouraged about what had happened, and I was expecting the support, you know. But now that I'm where I think I'm at a good place now. I want to come back next year and do something just massive for Tobago, right? I wouldn't say the name of the event in itself, but just know Tobago, next year is your year as it pertains to something.
Well, they had to give me something. So what month we looking at?
We're looking at something like around maybe mid-month, mid-year.
Mid-year. So like August, June, July. I mean,
you're pushing it. You're pushing.
Yeah.
Listen, just know that when I come in, I come in proper.
Yeah.
Right? I come in to give my Tobago people something substantial, something good, and not just a concert per se, you know, something that you go remember, you know, and know that hey, this wee boy, you understand? This what he doing, flying the flag high. And we going and support him. All I want from my Tobagonians is whenever I see it advertised, you find yourself there.
Absolutely.
You understand? It's rain or sun. You know, the people like to use all kind of excuses as to why they're coming. And times have changed, you know. Times have changed where even in the secular industry, they do let weather and things stop them from
it
thing.
Absolutely don't stop nothing at all.
It's only in church. How come you go to that concert, girl? Girl, that rain.
You know what changed my perspective on setting and concerts and weather?
Yeah.
Burna Boy. Burna Boy let me know that all you're outside, even if lightning leave heaven and touch earth. Yeah. So I don't want to hear.
When I tune into that event and I saw the amount of people, I like, hey, Tobago.
Drenched, you know.
But look at rain.
Makeup running from face to the ground, you know.
But look at people.
Look at people.
I said, nah, we had to do better for the gospel.
Yeah,
we had to do better.
And that means that you have to leave home with your umbrella.
Yeah,
you have to leave home with your umbrella.
But in the coming year, I'm thinking of doing something real big in Tobago, other than the concert, just something for my Tobagonians, you know.
So I'll give him back type of activity.
I kind of give him back
so
activity.
That means we will be seeing Blessed Messenger again because he has to come back and let us know.
I must come back.
As soon as he finished plan.
I must come back because plans already afoot to have these things done, you know. Right now it's in the planning stage, but the same way I would go out of my way for the other events. I want this to be real good. You know, I want this to be real good. So Tobago, get ready. Blessed coming your way.
Awesome.
Home is home.
Home is home.
Home is home.
So last but not least, I want to know what you intend to do about your legacy and specifically working with those behind you. Are there any plans for the youth? Are there any plans for those that you're already seeing coming up?
Well, as I was telling, I think I told you this in the vehicle, that the artists in Tobago just as good as any and better than many. When I see the vocal ability of a lot of people here in Tobago, I'm like, wow. You understand? Like, take for instance, Chantal Lindsay, right? Chantal was in my concert in Trinidad, right? And when she was there, somebody actually came after and like, boy, who is that girl? You know? And that is the exact thing I wanted to happen. Somebody to come and ask me, who is that girl? You understand? And I know it have plenty other people in Tobago with the talent and the giftings, but they're not seen. And that is why I believe that God has put me in the position where I'm at right now, right, in Trinidad, so that I could assist where they need help, right? Or you might not know how to release a song, or you might not know how to do certain things, right? I could tell you here what to do. You had to advertise here, you know. I could break it down in a better way for you because I went through the grind.
Yeah.
I went through the struggle. I know what is what now, so I know how to go about certain things, you know.
So yeah, you know, you have to set up that
yeah,
that avenue for them to get on to you, and
it's there. The avenue is there. Any of them could tell you once that you reach out to me. You might not get me one time sometimes. Well, I wouldn't say majority of the times because I'll be so busy.
Yeah.
But one thing I do, I try to return calls when I see it. Who is this? You know, or if you send me a message on the social media, I could be able to respond and say, nah, or yeah, no, or, you know, do it this way or that way. So I'm just glad that I'm here to help, you know. In the future, I want to put certain things in place to actually push forward more Tobago artists, you know. And that and all is, I gotta come back.
Yeah, no.
I gotta come.
It's real top secret, not giving me the secret. Half the way the secret inside and a little bit out in front.
It's not really secret, you know, but it has so much plans to do that, you know, for the unseen artists in Tobago.
Yeah.
Tobago are real plenty things to offer.
Plenty talent.
You might just know Positive and you might just know Blessed or Chantal Lindsay, but it have plenty more youths with real talents, real giftings.
Plenty
powerhouses just waiting to be seen and heard. You know? So I'm going to be I'll be back to talk about the those opportunities that will be presented.
All right. So when you're coming with concrete plans.
I come with concrete.
So guys, we're keeping him honest. We are keeping him honest with these plans. As soon as I leave in the studio, I'm going to write it down in my book.
Yeah.
When Blessed come back, he promised me about 3 things. And watch that, I will be addressing it. And I don't miss it. I don't sit down here and listen.
Yeah.
You understand? So guys, we'll be keeping him honest.
Yeah.
And we know for sure that there are bigger things ahead.
Yeah. And what I really want is for Tobago to support their people. Tobago had to support Tobago in order for Tobago to be seen.
That's so true.
Don't wait for somebody outside to see your own and give them that support. You start to support them from young, from start. I tell people, I thank God for those that supported me when I was here, and I thank God that who still supported me when I went to Trinidad, and that is why when I come home, I have so much people to thank because they stick with me, they had me back. Every concert I threw, they came. If they had a fly out, they came, you know, so much names I could call, which I wouldn't do this evening, you know. But hey, you had to support your own.
Yeah.
Support your own. Tobago, the only way we could do it is when we support our own.
Facts. And
you understand? And look, you're doing something here. This platform, these are big deal. You understand? A lot of people, this now start to pick up in the world.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you reach how much subscribers and stuff and think now to tune in to this and secrets and I know she and we went to school and think. Nah, let we start now.
Yeah.
Let we start now. You gotta start somewhere.
Absolutely, and thank you for that.
Yeah. And I must say, and even before I go, don't stop.
I don't intend to.
Don't stop.
So you could keep me honest and I'll keep you honest?
Yeah. I like that. Don't stop. I want to also admonish you that it's going to get hard. Don't look for no easy road, right? It is going to get hard, but you know what? In the end, it's going to be worth it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, God is in control. I started it with God in mind. Yeah. And He right here with me. So
come on.
Ain't worried about it.
Come on.
Too much.
Yeah. So any support you want from the Messenger Nation,
absolutely.
Just know that
one call away.
One call away. See we, you know. But even as we hear, you know, I just want the community to know that the songs that you would hear Blessed singing, right, I ain't just sing them just like that. It's not that I just wake up this morning and feel to write a song. All is life experiences. All is what is happening. All is a word directly from God, you know. Yeah. So if you're wondering about Blessed Messenger music, I want to let you know this is God led. Right? And when I say God, I mean Jesus. You know, people like to say God and have it as a broad thing. Nah, I mean Jesus, right? And it's the word of God, the Bible, straight from the book, right? So I just need to put that out there. Don't feel it I'm listening to something else or involved in something else. It's straight Bible, guys. Straight Bible.
Absolutely. So, any closing comments? Anything that you'd like to leave with us as a blessing, go ahead.
Yeah. Tobago, I want to talk Tobago especially because I don't normally get a chance to talk to Tobago in itself, you know, because I'm not really in Tobago all the time. But Tobago, you are a gem. You are a beauty. You are strong. We are a people, right, of love and togetherness. Let us keep that. But the only way we could keep this is when we put God in everything. God had to be forward and backward, behind and in front, above and beneath. You know the song, He's above, below, before, behind and around me. Let Jesus be it again in the homes, families, fathers, mothers, holy family again, and all you pray. All you pray, because a family that prays together stays together. You understand? All you pray, all you teach the children to read the Bible. We have a lot of young parents now in Tobago. Don't forget the teachings that you got. Right? And Tobago, just remember that Jesus has blessed this place. Jesus has blessed this place. Yes, everywhere else in the world, but look at the blessings that Tobago have. Right? That Tobago have. And I'm real passionate about this because I still consider myself as a diehard Tobagonian. Right? A diehard Tobagonian. So to all my Tobago people, let we love one another. Let we look out for one another. Let us stop the hate and the anger and the grudge. Continue to pray, read your Bible. Don't let no outside influence come in and spoil what we have going on here. Because I tell you something, what we have here, them want there. They want that peace, they want that serenity, they want that love. But we have it here naturally. And last but not least, put Christ first in everything. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. Don't run down the money. Don't run down the girls, the drugs, the guns. Nah, all them things will fade away. But trust in the Lord with all your heart. Alright? So, these blessed just leaving that with you. I love all you, like cook food.
Absolutely. So guys, as we usually say every week, stay tenaciously resolute in all that you do. Remember, I told you that was a blessing. That is telling you to always stay strong and hold on to your convictions. Right? So stay tenaciously resolute in all that you do. We're closing it off here kind of way. But we're just going to check out some of these comments, seeing that this is one of our lives. So let me just check through. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing my aunt. Hi, Miss Auntie Sharian.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing here that she's saying communal support is indeed eroded. Yeah. And guys, we really have to do a little bit of work, and probably a lot of work where that is concerned, to rebuild that.
Yeah.
To rebuild that type of community support.
Right.
Let me see. Wow, so many comments. I'm surprised. What Joel is saying here.
The dreams.
Them left behind the dreams.
Yeah, it does hit different.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm so happy to see you all live with us, and you all are commenting, and I appreciate it. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. And yeah, I think we could check out for now.
Yeah.
Right? But guys, let me ask you quick. You all have any questions of Blessed Messenger? Drop it in the chat like no.
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat like no.
Let's
a little bit fancy. Let me see if they have any questions to you.
Watch me. Somebody questions people has asked me some questions people has asked me. No question is a stupid question.
Absolutely.
You know? No question is a stupid question at all. You know?
So let me see if they have questions, because I feel you're real good at thing this evening.
Yeah,
know.
Plenty stuff.
You're real good at thing this evening. So let me check and see if anybody has any specific questions. And if not, I think it's because we would have left the cup full and overflowing.
Yeah.
And right now they're in the saucer.
Yeah.
Right? So, guys,
yeah,
it was lovely having you all in with us.
Right.
And we have a whole lot more to come.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And some very unique topics.
Right.
Not just music. You know, every week I try to bring it a little different.
Right.
Something unique, something of substance at the end of the day. Yeah. Right? So, I'm not seeing any questions just yet. But anything that pops up, we'll address it in the comments.
Right.
Right? So, guys, God bless, and a positive week ahead, a wonderful week ahead. Stay tenaciously resolute. And bye-bye.